After a very exciting heat race night the night before, we're ready to bring you the main event for the 1-Up Turbo Truck Series here at Knoxville Raceway. The Kioti We Dig Dirt 300 here at Knoxville Raceway. Alongside me in the booth for this main event is Duke Anzac, just as it was for the heat races last night. And take what we saw in those heat races, multiply it by however many more trucks are in this field, and by 60 more laps that are added onto this race. We got a 90-lap feature ahead of us, and boy, is that going to be fun after what we saw last night.
Oh yeah, I mean there is so much more that can happen, and so many more laps in this race. Of course, well, we could see some cautions tonight in this thing, and that'll bunch everybody back up, and we're gonna see people coming from the back and going to the front, and people starting up front and going to the back, and we'll see people starting in the middle and going to the front or the back. I don't know, but it's gonna be quite an incredible thing to lay our eyes on today. And I hope you brought your goggles, because we're racing on the dirt track here in Knoxville, the sprint car capital of the world, and it just makes everything more and more exciting. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight, and it's going to be very interesting to see who can win this race, because I think that there's people that can win this race starting all the way throughout the field, sprinkled in there. So it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be fast. It's going to be fun, and I'm excited.
Looking now at the starting lineup for today's 90-lap feature, we have our 4 heat winners on the first 2 rows. Zach Rogers, winner of heat number 1, gets pole. Allison Rain second. Logan Jones, Kev Shearer in the third and fourth positions. And we've got a lot of stories to keep our eye on. We got the Kings Motorsports sweepstakes driver, Brandon Smith, starting 9th in this race. He's got a brilliant opportunity here. And a couple of guys starting deep in the field that are looking to make some gains, like James Ellison. He had to come in for the last chance qualifier. We got Alexander Rowe starting 27th. Zachary Bilson, the points leader. He starts 30th. But if there's a place to start at the back and make your way to the front, it's absolutely here.
Oh, yeah, oh, for sure. You know, this is one of the few tracks on the schedule. I think that we talked a little bit about it yesterday, but you're kind of able to really make a lot of great moves. I mean, the bottom lane started to come in yesterday during the heats and the last chance qualifier, and really be the lane where you could make some moves. And of course, the preferred lane that you kind of run and get in a rhythm is kind of in the middle of the track here. So if you can start working on that bottom, you can really make some moves around people, get a lot of momentum, a lot of good grip down there. And of course, the track could change a little bit during the race. It is a dirt track after all, so that top side might come in if you can get a good run out of there. But it's all going to come down to how much grip, how good you can get the throttle down, and of course, if you can pass whoever has gotten out front early in this one. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I think there's a lot of people that can do it, like I said, and yeah, I'm excited.
So with that being said, the trucks are all lined up on the dirt, and we're ready to bring you 90 laps of racing action. This is the 1-Up Turbo Truck Series from Knoxville Raceway. The green flag is moments away. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss a second of the 90 laps of mudslinging action to come tonight. This is it, what we've all been waiting for. Zach Rogers getting ready to take us to the green. It's in the air, and we're underway at Knoxville for the main event. Rogers dives it off in the turn 1. Logan Jones is following him through. I fully expect that 94 to get a good run off the corner. He's going for the lead going into 3.
And of course, visibility struggling through into that final corner right there after everybody getting up to speed on the start. And the 94 is right up alongside that 17, is going into the corner. It's going to be able to clear him for the lead. The 94 up front.
Yeah, Logan Jones upset Zach Rogers a little bit coming through 1 and 2, bullied him out of the groove. But that's exactly what you come to expect on the dirt now, isn't it? As Jones now leads for the second lap in a row. Now Kev Shearer, who won heat number 4, is making his way towards the front. He's up to second now, and see that bright blue truck in the back, Brandon Smith. He started 9th in this race, and now he's all the way up to 3rd after just 3 laps. This guy is going places, and he's doing everything he can to prove that he should have this ride for next year.
Now that is absolutely incredible, because yesterday in his heat race, he started in 9th, and then 3 laps later, he had made it up to 3rd place. Of course, at that point, he had a big battle with between himself and whoever was running in fourth place. I can't remember at the moment, but that's another incredible run from the 71 to start this race. And this time, instead of only having 10 laps left at this point in the race, he's got 85. So he's got plenty of time to get a handle on this thing and really try to take this race by the horns and get up there and fight for the lead. However, Kev Shearer is trying to take it first, and he's working on that 94 truck.
Yeah, Kev Shearer doing everything he can to get this lead off of Logan Jones. Because Kev Shearer, he knows he's going to be back at King's Motorsports next year. That was announced a while ago. But he wants to get that first career win to prove that he really should have this ride. And I'm noticing further in the back, that green truck, Bradley Hooper, he started 15th in this race, and after just 7 laps, he's up in the top 5. It just goes to show passing is very much possible here, and he's doing a very good job as Shearer puts the bumper to the back of the 94, going for the lead.
Wow, really great move right there from the 02. Of course, just gave him a little bit of a nudge and then got him up out of the groove right there, and now has cleared for the lead. That's Kev Shearer to the point, 9 laps into this race.
So Kev Shearer doing everything he can to get that win, and he's doing it pretty well. Remember, Shearer started on the outside, and it only took him 9 laps to get to the lead. This is a very good truck for the 02. Hopefully he can stay up there for the rest of the night, but for now, the battle is for second between Logan Jones and Brandon Smith in that 71, continuing to impress.
Wow, yeah, Brandon Smith is looking really good right now in the bottom lane, also going by that 94, and has done it in one foul swoop through that corner right there. That was 1 and 2. The 71 makes it into second place, and we'll see. He's going to have to try to drive up there and beat Kev Shearer, who we know has a really good truck tonight. And we'll see if that 71 is able to make it up there. But King's Motorsports and all these Toyotas looking really good out there so far.
I was just about to say, King's Motorsports has 3 of the top 4 places right now in this race. That is a great run for that group. They're always strong, though, no matter where you go. But could we see a little bit of influence from Robbers Racing in the mix? We have Robert Weaver in the 6th, making his way past Zach Rogers. We have Riley Hooper right behind him. And Billy Kidd, he's made his way up into the 9th spot, battling Ryan Griffin for 8th. And here's Samantha Jade in the 25, making her 2nd start of the season. The last time we saw this 25 truck, it was turned around sideways and backwards at Pikes Peak, en route to a pretty poor finish there. But she's doing a really nice job on the dirt in Knoxville, running in the top 10 right now.
Yeah, really great run. I mean, from all these people in the top 10 right now, fantastic runs so far in this race. Of course, we're only 14 laps into it, but yeah, it's looking really good right now. As things get more and more spread out, it's going to be a lot tougher to pass people and catch people after you pass the one behind. And yeah, and of course, at some point in this race, we will probably encounter some lap traffic. Here goes the 25 underneath that 29 truck, going for the position. Looks like gonna get it out of the corner. Got it. Done deal. Up into 9th and moving forward in this race.
One truck moving backwards a little bit is Zach Rogers. He started on pole, remember. Now he's all the way back to 6th. As Billy Kidd gets way up out of the groove, kicks up a bunch of dust, but gets back running. He settles back into 8th place. But right now, the battle up front rages on as the whole field separated by about 10 seconds on this tight half-mile dirt track. As Jack Boswell now takes a look underneath Zach Rogers, 46th position. Very interesting battles throughout this field, but right now, Kev Shearer continues to lead the way. His lead over his teammate Brandon Smith, it's staying pretty samey for the opening stint of this race. It's about 3/4 of a second, but Shearer doing everything he can to hold the lead. Smith doing everything he can to earn that ride.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and I was just thinking about that. Smith got really a good look at the draw here. You know, only one dirt race between the drivers in the sweepstakes there, and this Brandon Smith is absolutely performing today, sitting in 2nd place. That would be a fantastic run to have in that sweepstakes. I mean, that's going to be hard to top. Of course, there's only one position better that you can get, so it's going to be really a great run here. And the 71, you know, he is catching the leader right now, his teammate who is out front. So it definitely not done so far in this one, 21 laps in. And
Smith is catching. The gap now down to half a second between the two teammates out in front. They've kind of left Logan Jones and Robert Weaver in the dust, honestly. Those guys are about two seconds back. And now Weaver has gotten past Logan Jones into third. Jack Boswell currently holds the fastest lap with a 17:79. That's a bonus point for him. But back out front, it continues to be Brandon Smith chasing down Kev Shearer. The gap continues to go down. It's just getting closer and closer between the teammates. This is what we came to Knoxville to see.
Yeah, it absolutely is. This is a great rundown right now that we've gotten. The 6 is still sitting there in third, just lurking, waiting for those lappers to kind of show up here and mix it all up in this race.
Yeah, Logan Jones now dropped back to fourth, and he's under pressure from Riley Hooper in the 00, trying to get that spot away. But the gap between the two at the front has pretty much stayed the same. It's about half a second now between Shearer and Smith, although it's grown a little bit in that previous lap. But these two, they've never raced each other before, actually. Brandon Smith's only previous start in the series was when Kev Shearer had not started his career yet. So these two racing each other for the very first time and doing a very solid job staying in touch with each other.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, these two, I mean, all these young drivers in this series really are taking every opportunity to the max and just doing a great job. And these two are perfect examples of it, leading this race right here, first and second place. Of course, they're on the same team. They've got some great trucks underneath them. But, yeah, just a fantastic opportunity for young drivers, this whole series is. And we're watching the back of the pack here with the 1, the 32, the 70 all sitting here in those final 3 spots. Of course, that's quite surprising to see the 1 truck back there, but we've got the 02 here. They're catching up. It's getting about to be that time in the race where they're seeing that dust is fresher and fresher off the track, off the tires of the trucks ahead, and it's going to get a little bit crazy as soon as they catch them.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a great surprise, well, not a great surprise, but a big surprise to see Francois Chastain so far back. He's second in the points entering tonight.
Started 8.
Yeah, he started. Yeah, he was doing a great job, but that outside line really seemed to bite him more than others, and he's now all the way back at 40th. So Chastain's got to get a move on here, get to that bottom groove, and start picking people off in a hurry before the leaders catch him.
Yeah, and surely he's had an opportunity. I wonder if there's maybe something wrong with that truck, something brewing, maybe handling issues that team is dealing with. So I'm sure that we'll find out after the race at some point what was happening there. Maybe it just is that he hasn't had an opportunity 31 laps into this race to get to the bottom of the racetrack to start picking off some more positions. So now we're going back a little bit closer to the front here with the 29 racing for 8th position with the 17. Right here, and it's quite the battle that they've got all throughout. Of course, they're a little bit spread out, but they're close enough to make a couple moves on each other, and it's only about a straightaway separation between the last place and the first place trucks here at Knoxville.
Yeah, Kev Shearer is just working hard to try and get as many of these guys a lap down, put as big a buffer between himself and Brandon Smith as he possibly can. Because Kev Shearer, he wants a win, and he wants it bad. He's a great driver. He's won a lot of races in other divisions, but this is his best chance in the Turbo Truck Series to make it happen so far. And you can see the tail end of the field just up ahead. We're closing in on halfway. Nothing better for Kev Shearer than to get that first win right here.
Yeah, and we recently saw a race where, you know, all the drivers were working really hard to catch up to the lappers, and then as soon as they got to the lappers, it's just like they stalled out, weren't able to pass anybody. And of course, Knoxville is a completely different track than that. But you know, this we'll see. And there's one slow up on the outside lane. It's the 06. They're kicking up a bunch of dust, and it's going to be a caution here because a bunch of people are slowing down. Oh boy.
We got our first caution of the night on lap 36. Kev Shearer takes the caution flag as the leader. Looks like, yeah, it was the 06 of Maston Rimmel that was the one in trouble. There you see him there. And he will be the first one to go a lap down now as a result of this. He's going to try, because it looks like, well, I don't see, maybe there's a bit of a scoring mix-up here because nobody in their right mind would pit here at Knoxville. There's absolutely no reason for you to do that. You got the fuel to make it. You got the tires. Maybe if you needed an adjustment, but other than that, there's no way you're coming in.
No, I highly doubt that anybody will pit right here. It would not make any sense unless, of course, you have some damage you need to fix.
Just like this 30 truck of West Kitchens, he will also fall a lap down now as a result of that. But Maston Rimmel, he was the truck slow up on the top groove, and it's going to be very interesting to see what caused this, because he was running for around mid-pack, maybe towards the back end, but doing a pretty solid job for a low-funded team like Express Motorsports, but not at all the way they thought this was going to go. So yeah, I think West Kitchens had a problem before this all started, and Maston Rimmel was just a victim going up into the wall. I think that 30 truck had a big problem. You can see him slowing down right in front of Mason Dagger in the 50. So a lot going on in a very little amount of time. And just like that, 2 trucks go a lap down and their hopes are done for winning.
Yeah, that was just an unfortunate circumstance for everybody involved right there, because the 30 truck just really slowed down. Big time mechanical problem in the middle of the track, and then everybody got caught up in it. So it is what it is sometimes. That's how the cookie crumbles, and we've got the rest of the race to run here and see if they can't get any of those positions back that they lost.
This could be a game changer for this race, though, because keep in mind, when we do go back racing, which should hopefully be within the next lap or two, we're going to have 2 trucks lined up on the bottom. We're going to have Maston Rimmel and West Kitchens down there. So, this could be a huge advantage to the Robbers Racing guys back there. If they can jump to the bottom before the 02 and the 71 can get there, that'll be really big for the rest of this race.
Yeah, and we've seen how good a starts those guys get on the bottom. So you have to keep in mind, even though that they were starting, or that they were running not really close to the leaders in this race, I still have reason to believe that they're going to get a fantastic start on that bottom lane. They will be up in front or beside of our 2 leaders that have dominated this race. So I think that you're absolutely right. Those guys, 3rd, 4th, 5th, they're going to have a really good shot here, and unless West Kitchens isn't able to catch. Oh no, there's West Kitchens there, of course. We'll see if that mechanical problem still exists for the 30, but this is going to be a fascinating restart. Here they come to the green flag.
Coming off of 4, Shearer leads the way. Green flag is back out. We're underway once again at Knoxville. And it looks like they're going to stick to the top. Who's the first one to the bottom? It's Riley Hooper in the 00. He gets underneath his teammate of Weaver and Brandon Smith. He's going for a lot of positions on this racetrack. He's going for the lead already.
Yeah, the visibility is incredibly low down there, but the 00 is in a perfect position right now. The 02 still stuck on the outside lane. All he has to do, this 00, is follow the 30 around the bottom lane. They're side by side for the lead now behind the 2 lapped trucks, and Robert Weaver has followed him through on the bottom as well. So now we've got the 00 up front, then the 02, Robert Weaver as well in this thing, and he's going for 2nd place. And they're 3 wide with the lappers. The leader is, man, oh man, what a battle we've got up here.
It's Robbers Racing versus Kings Motorsports, and right now those Chevrolets doing a very good job. It was a Kings Motorsports 1-2 for much of this race. Now it's a Robbers Racing 1-2. But for how long is the question, because Kev Shearer makes a dive on Weaver once again for 2nd. Looks like the 02 is going to get the position back, but we'll see what he can do with Riley Hooper, who now has a comfortable lead out in front.
Yeah, so Robert Weaver had that 2nd place for just a moment, and then the 02 came storming by on the bottom. That truck is still fast, despite having lost the lead on the restart. Just an unfortunate circumstance, of course. And now that 00 has an opportunity to start driving away. Could he get out there, because that 30 truck is blocking the 02 right now? Not going to be for a lot longer, because this 02 is going by and going to be in clean as air on a dirt track can be. In clean air, going up and trying to chase the leader. No trucks between them, between 1st and 2nd place.
Yeah, absolutely, and Brandon Smith's going to come with him in the 71. Will these 2 play nice with each other, work together to try and catch the 00, or are they going to battle it out for the position themselves?
Yeah, I don't know. This is an interesting idea. This will be the first kind of test of how good of teammates these 2 are. I don't know. what'll happen. We saw in the last chance qualifier 2 people racing it out for 6th place in that race, and then neither of them were able to cross over into that transfer spot for the last couple laps, which made it so that they didn't make the race today. So we'll see maybe if they have had a conversation amongst the teammates about that. It looks like so far they're not battling each other, and as I say that, the 71 goes way down the track and is going to get side by side with the 02, so never mind what I was saying. The 71 going for 2nd place.
Yeah, Brandon Smith saying to Kev Shearer right here, I'm not your teammate yet. Wait till next year, then we'll talk about team orders. Because here comes Brandon Smith to the inside to take 2nd away. Now let's see what the young phenom in the 71 can do. Trying to get underneath the 00 of Riley Hooper, who's now 6/10 up the road. As now Robert Weaver tries to work on Kev Shearer for 3rd. Brandon Smith, man, this has been a career-defining weekend for Brandon Smith. It really has. And if he can have a good run at Talladega, I believe, is his other start for this team, he'll have a really good shot at getting this ride coming towards the future for this group. And yes, Talladega is his other race for the Kings Motorsports Group. And we know how unpredictable that can be. So a great run here will do major, major good for the 71.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Talladega, you could come out on top being the winner. And you could also come out on top, meaning the bottom of your car is up above you. So, I mean, it is, anything can happen at Talladega, and it's definitely going to be good to have a good run here. But fighting with a teammate right now for 2nd place and allowing that 00 of Hooper to get way up there and drive away right now with a 1.31 second lead over these 2 trucks. We'll see if it increases this time by as they cross the line, and I'm sure that it has, because Austin Hooper is driving away in clean air, no trucks to worry about, no pressure from behind. In fact, it's actually it's a little bit of less of an advantage right now after the 02 has gotten packed past the 71, but right now Austin Hooper in a really good spot.
Yeah, it's a great run for that 00 truck. And it's honestly, they deserve a good run, because Riley Hooper's had a disastrous start to 2022. 3 DNFs in a row to start the season. His first finish of the season was at Las Vegas, and that was all the way back in 29. So Hooper not really in a playoff position, because remember, the playoffs, we haven't even mentioned this all weekend long, but the playoffs, after this race, there's only one more to go until the playoffs start. We've got a lot of guys racing hard to make their playoff dreams come true. Kev Shearer might be a little too far back, but Robert Weaver, he's in the hunt for a playoff spot. He's on the outside looking in, but he's got a very good shot at it. Brandon Smith doesn't need to worry about that. Neither does Jack Boswell in the 38. But Ryan Griffin back there in 7th, he could lock up a spot tonight if he runs well here tonight. So we've got 30 laps to go, but I'm sure for the top 3 at least, the playoffs are the last thing on their mind.
Yeah, I don't know how many of these people, including people watching, were really thinking about the playoffs. I mean, you're right, we have not talked about it a single time all weekend, and yeah, they're looming. They're right around the corner, and that's a big storyline here with these guys, and it's quite the thing to watch all these drivers just race in their different ways. Of course, people racing for a ride next season, racing for their ride this season. However, not part of the playoffs, not even in contention, because they haven't run the whole season. And then of course, there's people who are racing to get locked in. There's people who are racing to try to make it in, who are on the bubble. So many different storylines going on in these races, and we watch them race for the win every week as well. So this is just an absolutely exciting race that we have here. We're on lap 63. I don't want it to ever end here, but however, we are closing in on just so few laps left in this race. This Riley Hooper up front is looking really good right now. Has only lost about a 10th since the last time we looked at that timing board up in the top left corner. So we'll see if he's able to continue out ahead or not.
The question is, will Kev Shearer be able to make up 1.1 seconds in 25 laps? He already gained 0.2 on that last lap. That is what he needs to keep doing for the rest of the race. If he can do that, the lead is very much within play for him. but he's only got 25 laps to make it happen. And we know all the craziness that can happen at Knoxville. So we're officially now at 25 laps to go. Riley Hooper out front. Man, I'm sure Kev Shearer was dreading a caution coming out while he was leading. Sure enough, it happened, and that let Riley Hooper get out in front. Will he be able to hold it?
Yeah, so this is an interesting thing that I was thinking about during the caution, and I was curious if it would come up at some point in this race, and I believe that it will if we don't see a caution here. It took about 35 laps for these leaders to catch up to the back of the pack, and of course there we saw the 70 truck who's sitting in last place right now of the drivers that are on the lead lap, of course. And it took about 35 laps last time. This time I can expect a little bit of the same, I think. And there was about 50 laps left in the race, so that means that we'll have about 15 laps of this thing if it goes green to the end, where the leaders are within lap traffic. That will change the dynamic of this race yet again, and you know it's gonna bring everybody up there. It's gonna bring Hooper all the way back to the Shearer, and then also Weaver is in third place now, and then Smith in fourth as well will be part of this race and even farther back. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit crazy if they catch the lap traffic here, and I believe that they will. They're getting pretty close.
We got 25 laps to go, or 20 now laps to go from Knoxville, and Kev Shearer just keeps closing that gap bit by bit, piece by piece. He's now 3/4 of a second back. He keeps gaining a couple hundredths of a second per lap, and I think if he can keep doing that, he'll be on Riley Hooper's back bumper in the final few laps. But there's a difference between being there and passing a guy, and we've seen that plenty of times this season and in seasons past as well. So Shearer has got to put the pedal to the metal if he wants to catch this double zero. Well, but he doesn't want to make a mistake either, because a mistake here could really put you in a big trouble spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And you also have to watch out for Robert Weaver there in third place. Of course, is going to have to pass two trucks to win today, but is looking really good. It is in position, and of course is right there. So as soon as these trucks catch the lap traffic, he will become a factor, as well as everybody behind. So this thing is far from over, despite only having about 15 laps left in this thing as they cross the line, or 16 or whatever it is. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be fun. That's for sure.
Yeah, the gap just continues to get smaller and smaller. It's now down to 0.6 of a second between Hooper and Shearer. And look at that. There's the lap traffic. It's right there for the taking. And Riley Hooper is dreading that moment every single lap. We now have 15 laps to go from Knoxville. Will Kev Shearer have what it takes to get by Riley Hooper and win this race, or will it be all over? And then will it be Riley Hooper celebrating his first win? We got two guys battling for their first win, and only 14 laps to make it happen.
Yeah, so now, I mean, look at this right there. Austin Hooper is going to have to start thinking about how to get by these guys, and they're racing for position. They're racing for, you know, it might not be as significant a position as for the race win, but they're all racing each other. They're running their own race, trying to stay on the lead lap here in case there is a caution. You might be able to gain some spots, whereas if you go a lap down, you definitely won't. But here comes Kev Shearer, who's battling for the win in second place. He's making a move down to the bottom lane, and he's going to try to get up beside this double zero, and he will. Man, oh man, before they pass any lappers, Kev Shearer is taking the spot away and is going to try to pass and clear him, and he will, coming out of the corner.
I guess Kev Shearer did have what it takes after all. Kev Shearer to the lead with 12 laps to go at Knoxville. Can Kev Shearer now hang on for the rest of this race, or will Riley Hooper make a dive into the turn one? Yes, he will. They're going three wide with Mason Jagger, the lap truck. Shearer and Hooper side by side for the lead, and Hooper now has the momentum on the bottom. Will Riley Hooper get the lead back? You bet he will. Hooper to the lead with 10 to go.
It's almost a little bit of contact right there, but there wasn't any. Man, oh man, it was so close between Hooper and Shearer. And of course, Robert Weaver has not been part of it yet, but is still lurking just behind. And there's more and more lap trucks involved with this thing. We still got few laps left. And we'll see if Kev Shearer, he needs to get by that 70 truck as soon as possible to have a shot at this thing. Oh, and it looks like Robert Weaver is going to go for second place and might make it happen here. Man, oh man, Kev Shearer went from leading the race down to third place now in just a couple laps coming to the close.
Yeah, Shearer today has not gone the way he wanted it to. He led so much of this race, but unless he can put on a Herculean drive in these final 8 laps, he might have to wait another time. As Hooper now puts a lap on Brandon Mayhew. He started 5th in this race. A tough at night for that Logan Sport group and Brandon Mayhew. He started 5th. He's now running 38th now. Tough break for him, but I'm sure he'll look forward to Canadian Tire as a place to rebound. But now, Dalton Sate, the hero of the last chance qualifier, is now next one up to be lapped. And Allison Rain, our outside pole sitter, is about to be lapped now by Riley Hooper. That is amazing. I don't know if I ever saw that coming, but sure enough, it's about to happen. And that could put a serious blow into Allison Rain's playoff hopes. She entered this race 11th in points. So a bad day at Knoxville could spell the end of her playoff hopes right here with only 1 race to go. But we have 5 laps to go in this race at Knoxville, and Riley Hooper is just putting on a clinic. He's got about a second's lead over Kev Shearer and Robert Weaver. We're coming to the end of this thing. Boy, has it been fun to watch.
Yeah, and as soon as Riley Hooper got in a little bit of a rhythm passing these lappers, it has just been one after the other, multiple on each lap. And it's been an incredible performance. Got ahead, lost the lead for just a moment to Kev Shearer, and then got it back in the same lap, and has just driven away since then. So this has been a stellar performance from the 00 as soon as he took the lead in this race on that crazy restart with the lappers involved. That was the end of it. He just drove away from everybody, and nobody else is going to have much of a chance in this one as the lappers just get more and more intense behind the leader.
1.5 laps to go. Riley Hooper, half a mile away from his first career win. The white flag is in the air. We've got 1 more lap to go from Knoxville in the main event, and Riley Hooper, who had the worst start to a season I think anybody's ever seen in one-up competition. His hopes for the championship may be over, but he is not going to take it sitting down. He's coming for 3 and 4 for the final time. Riley Hooper comes off the corner and gets his first career win for Robbers Racing. He does it at Knoxville. Amazing drive from Riley Hooper, who started 15th in this race, comes home to take the win. Kev Shearer, a best finish ever in the Turbo Truck Series for him, but it'll be second for him. Robert Weaver comes home third. Jack Boswell, a nice run for him, gets a top 5 and 4th. And Billy Kidd in the 72, he'll come home to finish 5th. His first top 5 of the season, as a matter of fact. Brandon Smith faded a little bit to 6th, but that is still a great run for a guy looking for a ride next year, and he's put himself in a great position. Brian Grigsby, 7th. Zach Rogers, the pole sitter, 8th. Cole Dillinger, 9th. And Levi Forley rounds out the top 10 in a race that we could never really predict until it was fully over. But boy, was it fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this has been the whole weekend really has just been absolutely fantastic. And these drivers are just excellent. I mean, putting on a great show for us every single time they hit the track, and especially this weekend at a famous Knoxville raceway. I mean, it's just a great time all around, a great race. And congratulations to Hooper and getting the first ever win. That's just a great accomplishment and a great way to do it as well tonight here at Knoxville.
So, with only 1 race to go until the playoffs, I can officially say Zachary Bilson, Francois Chastain, Earl Sear, Ryan Griffin, Zach Rogers, and Billy Kidd, they have all locked themselves into the 1UP Turbo Truck Series playoffs for 2022. Congratulations to them as well. Looking forward to the finale for the regular season from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, where we will figure out which 4 drivers will join them in their bid for a championship in 2 weeks' time. So, from Duke Anzac and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Knoxville Raceway. Congratulations to Riley Hooper. He's your big winner at Knoxville. And a congratulations to the 6 drivers I just named. They are into the playoffs with 1 race to go until we settle it all.